guys, Mars Thinking here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so today I wanted to do a showcase for the free-to-play Demon Goddess PUTINE, who got her Easy A with this set of Heroes units. We weren't necessarily expecting her to get one because she's obviously last year's free-to-play unit. It's a good thing that she did, because obviously, even though she was pretty decent when she came out, you can easily say that she, aged out of the meta. Not really surprising for a free-to-play unit that's a year old. So that does set a good trend going forwards, because that means we can assume that the Lags is going to get an Easy A next year. So obviously we have Rainbow full level 10 links. I haven't given her any equips, but I think with Hearts' team, I think she can actually be quite useful for like the full extreme build of the Heroes team, because she raises attack and defense for 1 turn on Super, as well as having the chance to stun. She gets 150 attack and defense at the start of the turn, but then she gets an additional 15% per crossover category ally, self-excluded. So obviously that only will include the other 6 units, because it still includes the friend leader. So that makes, what, 90% from that part of her passive? So that's pretty good. That's, what, 240 in total. She gets an additional attack, 70% and medium chance to crit when the target enemy is stunned, or the target enemy's super attack is sealed. She gives crossover allies 2 key, attack and defense 30%. She lowers the attacked enemy's attack and defense by 20% and seals their super attack for 2 turns. So she has a ton of status effects, which obviously makes her very useful for Super Battle Road. But even certain red zone stages, like here we are against Omega, we did actually stun him on the previous turn with Hearts. So we are going to get that extra attack bonus. So we're starting off with 200k defense. We're getting support from Demon Goddess Toa. Darkness Toa. We share 5 links with her, so pretty good rotation here. Obviously, this isn't ideally what we would want to run as a rotation, because neither of these units really are like slot 1 units. But I think the way I'll showcase her here, because obviously you have to remember that she is going to be a slot 3 floating support unit, so you're not usually going to be running her on main rotation. So obviously the fact that she's not really a slot 1 unit doesn't really matter all that much. But for the sake of the showcase, we want to keep her on rotation. So the way I've sort of built the team here is that we can have Hearts as the slot 1 unit for both rotations, and then just have various support units like floating to help like activate her passive and stuff. So let's get... Oh, you're locked in the middle. Okay, perfect. I was going to say, let's get Rebel floated off, because they share quite a few links as well. Rebel doesn't provide any support, but she has a Rainbow Orb Changer. When we look at Putine's link partners, she shares 5 links with the Darkness Toa, Demon Goddess Toa, and Rebel. Is Demon Goddess Toa one of the units that's going to Easy A next year? No, I think she came out the year God Trunks came out, right? So she's not going to Easy A for quite a while. Demon Goddess Toa definitely could be very good post Easy A. Darkness Toa is still decent. She Easy A'd last year, but she's obviously still relatively good. One of the things that is very difficult to get, but can obviously come in super clutch in these harder events where the bosses do hit you really hard, is the Darkness Toa ability to get the heal and then the massive buff to all allies. So wow, on this rotation we have all 5 links active, so Cold Judgment and Shocking Speed, and then they also share solid support. But yeah, all 5 links active on this turn. So we're starting out with 290k defense, because remember, Hearts gives support as well. So she's getting that 30% attack and defense raise on Super. She doesn't have any other buffs to her attack and defense. But that's 30%, which with all the support she has on rotation is almost 100k. So she's going to be at least 350, getting close to 400k in terms of defense on this rotation. Which, again, for a free-to-play unit that you're bringing on the team just to provide support, I honestly don't think that's that bad. And because she shares a couple of these links with a lot of the Demon God or Demon Goddess units, like the Toas, Dabura, Fu, Meki Cabra, she shares a few links with them. So not only is she good for supporting the team, but obviously the way you want to run the extreme build most of the time is to have Hearts in slot 1. Somebody next to him like Meki Cabra or Silas that has big bad bosses, and then by having her floating in slot 3, then obviously you're getting the oh, look at all those orbs at Meki Cabra. This isn't a Meki Cabra showcase, but I'm going to get all of those. Because that puts him at what? 322k start of turn. This isn't a showcase for him, but remember when he super attacks, he gets 80% when performing a super. So yeah, he's going to have a lot of defense on this turn. So I'll do this. We should still have Hearts' guard activated this turn as well. So we should have the... I had to float off the other Hearts because we started, I think, on turn 2. We had both Hearts on turn 1. 8 million for Meki Carbras. That's pretty good. So he should take double digits from this, right? 98k still. Wow. Okay. STR Sin hitting pretty hard. Now, STR Sin is the... I wanted to do Omega because he's in as the final boss. But obviously, the STR phase, I am kind of expecting Poutine to potentially take a decent amount of damage from this guy. Especially if it's a super. Like, she's one of those units, as a free-to-play unit, this is not really going to be surprising. But even if certain bosses, she's able to tank normal attacks reasonably well. She's obviously not going to be tanking super attacks from these big red zone bosses, especially when it comes to one that she has type disadvantage against. So, Cooler going off here with the additional supers is good though. I want to try and get through the Sin part as quickly as possible here. Alright, so one attack, that's not too bad. Now, if it's a super, we will die. Although I am very intrigued to just go ahead and not use an item at all. We're only missing demonic power on this rotation as well, which is good. So she's got 246k. That means she's going up to what? Like 300 and something? 300. I actually just cannot be bothered to try and work it out off the top of my head. But so her defense is going to be somewhat decent after supering, but 300k type disadvantage. She wouldn't take 400k from a normal attack, would she? The problem is if she gets supered, we die. So, for the sake of science, I want to see how much she's going to take from a normal attack. But if she gets supered and we die, then I guess it is what it is, and we might have to jump back in. But we don't have a scout. We don't have sight on any super attack. But obviously, we have no idea whether that means that Rebel's passive went off and he isn't supering, or it just didn't go off. So, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully it is the latter, that the former, that it did activate and he isn't supering, but okay, cool, no super. Oh, she got the dodge. All right, fair enough. Because to be honest, a good build for her, additional because of the status effects, because she's one of those characters, because she gets an extra buff when the enemy is in a specific status effect. It means that if she gets an additional super, she applies that status effect herself, and then her additional super attack is then obviously going to have all of those extra buffs stacked up on top of it. So her having a lot of additional, I think, is actually very good. And then, of course, dodge as a secondary ability, because she has a chance to... Is it a Chachi? I need to double check again. Was it chance to crit or guaranteed crit? It's medium chance to crit when the enemy is stunned or sealed. So you could give her a little bit of crit, I guess. But I think being a support unit who, as we've already discussed, would potentially struggle defensively against some of the harder hitting bosses, I do think dodge is definitely good. She's not on the team to deal damage herself, even though her kit does allow her to deal some extra damage when the enemy has certain status effects. But she's not on the team. Like, you don't pick her on the team to do damage, right? So, obviously, see, this is a good turn for her. 270k. We'll keep Hearts untransformed, so we're getting all that extra support. Because we're quite low on HP, I think I might go ahead and pop the Whis here. As much as I am still intrigued to see how much she takes from a normal, if, say, he starts off the turn by supering Hearts or something and we do survive, normal attacks would then end up killing her, so I think popping the Whis here is probably a good idea. I mean, to be fair, some weaker units, even with a Whis active, will still take damage from some of the tougher bosses, especially with type disadvantage. So if she takes double-digit damage with the Whis active, I would actually still be quite impressed. I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't take double-digit damage, to be clear. But she might do. With the support from Cooler, she is over like 350k defense here when she super attacks, which is good, just not necessarily for type disadvantage. The double super, though, This is why additional is good for her, because then she's raising her defense again. So she definitely should be over 400k, which, yeah, with the Whis, type disadvantage, doesn't matter, we take double-digit damage. So, pretty decent. I do think she can be a very useful floating support unit for this team, which, to be honest, with some of the free-to-play units that we've seen in recent times, I do actually think, like, if a free-to-play unit can be justified to be run on a team alongside like summonable units against red zone bosses, then I would say that that is a pretty successful easy A for that character, right? So, right, we should be able to finish you off here. We can get 7 orbs, and we get a lot of rainbow orbs. That's a lot of healing from Mechikabra on this turn. And then we'll grab those for you. Mechikabra is going to get the Dokkan attack. Or is he? Is he going to definitely get it? I think he is. Okay. Would have been good if we didn't. I guess I could have avoided the STR orbs with hearts, but because we were going to finish him off this turn regardless anyway. I want to see the big damage, so I am actually going to hit these. Because Mechikabra is at, what, 8.36? And what did I pick up? Physical orbs. That doesn't give him the attack buff, does it? Which, that's pretty good if that is the case. Maybe physical ones do give the attack. Well, yeah, is it STR and physical gives him extra attack. But just a casual, you know, 15 million damage, no crit from Mechikabra. That's pretty good. Alright, so this is what we came to see, right? We got the actual Int Omega. So we know we're not going to get supered in slot 1 because Omega only supers as the last attack on the second phase. So we'll go ahead and do this. We'll see what our girl Poutine is putting up here. 290k at the start of this turn. So this is definitely her best turn, right? Because after supering, she's essentially at like 400k, or at least just under. So if she double supers, then she is over 400k defense, which is pretty solid. So let's see. Wow, Hearts takes 220k pre-super. Man, I talked about it in all the videos where we showcased Hearts against the different bosses and stuff, but he is just such a disappointing unit when he loses his guard. Like, we could transform him, obviously, but then we lose the support. And yeah, she takes double-digit damage. So I would say Poutine is a solid free-to-play unit, actually worth running on some teams, which, as I already said, when it comes to free-to-play units, what more can you ask for? Actually being, you know, viable to run on some of these teams is more than you can say for some free-to-play units. But I guess we're going to end the video here, right? Because I didn't really build the team. As much as I wanted to show off Poutine, I didn't really build the team in regards to actually being able to survive Omega's super attack. So no one on this rotation is actually going to tank his super. So I guess we'll leave it at that, right? But Demon Goddess Poutine, pretty solid unit for a free-to-play. I actually didn't give her a sticker effect. I know it would be weird, I guess, but it's unfortunate you can't do that in the middle of an event because she does have an orb on her art, so potentially that would look pretty cool. But let me know what you guys think of Poutine down below in the comment section. I think free-to-play units, when they're support units, they have that potential that if they have a good easy A and are at least somewhat viable defensively, that they can actually be run on teams. That's why Lags' design is so disappointing, because she's not a support, she's just a unit that does like some damage, which if you're running the heroes team and you have like most of the summonable units to choose from, like, she's not better than any of them, so a little bit disappointing. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.